and he walks by, and like he's always parked like nearly in the same spot, and I'm just in my car, and I look up, and he's walking by, and he smiles at me, and I smile at him. And yeah, so today though, I was waiting for him to drive. The first time I smiled at him, he like drove behind my car, and um like his car was over here. He got in the car, reversed behind my car, looked at my plate or something, and then drove away. So it's like we're kind of like in the will they won't they. No, I'm playing. I don't know what's going on there, but it was just funny. So what was I saying? Yes, I was going to research neuroplasticity. And guys, it's actually so much deeper than I even could have imagined. And as I'm settling into my routine, I realized maybe I put too many things on my plate because you know how some people need more sleep than others. I'm one of those people. So like I've been sleeping during the week like 6 hours at the most, like seven and a half if I'm lucky, and it's catching up with me. Like I've had to go back to drinking coffee. For the longest time, I didn't drink any coffee. I wanted to break my dependency on it. If I don't have coffee, I will fall asleep at work. So I built back my dependency to coffee. Yay! Sound effects. And not super happy about that. So I do want to detox, but I've done it before, and I know I need to get a lot of sleep. That first week, the withdrawals are horrible. Um, so I need to redo my routine and my schedule to get a little bit more sleep, because not only will I fall asleep at work without the coffee, but then I feel like I'm literally delirious, and I don't know, like I'm so unfocused when I get home, and then at night I can't fall asleep, and I can't tell if it's just because of the coffee or like a mix of everything, but yeah, I gotta work on that. So what no matter all that, just to say that when I started looking into this, and then I was reading my Bible, I was like, whoa, like am I delusionally seeing things right now? And I don't know if it's because I was really tired or what's going on, but gonna record this video. I'm gonna put down what I have so far, which is not a lot, because I had to keep rereading everything because my brain is like, what's even going on? Because the neuroplasticity stuff, whoa, it's a doozy. I don't remember the word for it, but I got into, oh, I have the research on my laptop, but I didn't bring it out. But I got to looking into it, and hold on, I don't know why I put my seat so far back. I got into looking into it, and there's no plasticity, right? But then there's like a deeper layer to it of like neurogenesis, which is when scientists found that in like rats and stuff, they have usually neurogenesis is like the birth of neurons, right? Or like brain cells. Well, it's not. I thought that the terms were like you could interchange them, but they're not interchangeable, by the way. I don't know, because there's not just neurons or there's more brain cells than there are neurons, and then there's also neurons that are not brain cells, so they're not interchangeable at all, not one way or the other. But so neurogenesis is the birth of neurons, and most of it happens during when you're in your mom's womb before birth. So then that's why scientists believe beforehand that once you're born, like you have all the neurons you're gonna have, and then you can only like kill them. But then they found out that neurogenesis was happening way past birth in rats, and the neurons were like or like other pre-neuron cells were developing into neurons. But I don't believe that they have been able to prove this in humans. I think that's what the whole thing with stem cells is, which I was always confused, like what are stem cells? But yeah, that's what they're trying to do to fix like degenerative diseases. But just let's just keep it on neuroplasticity for now, which is proven. Neurogenesis, not so much. But what I was when I was looking into it, I was looking into like the Bible verses that would support it, and What that would kind of like what Jesus said about it. And the verses that sorry, I completely blanked out. Romans 8. So, okay, so I'm just gonna read like what I kind of wrote down. So Corinthians 10, 2 Corinthians 10, Romans, and then also John. These are the four, no, the three main ones that I wrote down. It's just a lot of Romans really kind of goes into it. So I'm gonna open the book and kind of go through it on there too. So 2 Corinthians 10, 3 to 6. For though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. So the weapons we fight with are beyond our reality. So this is what I'm saying. Like when I was kind of like reviewing this, I'm like, am I just being delusional? But it's kind of like what I was thinking of. And I know there's a lot of like spiritual people are like, oh, I'm spiritual, the universe, God. Like if it's all interchangeable. Me personally, I don't believe it's interchangeable. I believe that Jesus Christ is God, right? But I know there's a lot of people that do it. And I think that when we look at verses like these, it's easy to make that connection. It's easy to internalize, like, oh, we can also be like God, we're connected to the universe. We have a little piece of that because actually very interesting. Romans 8, 5 to 17 mentions being co-heirs with Christ. And I'm gonna go through that too, but we demolish arguments against the knowledge of God and take every thought to make it obedient to Christ. So it's like the weapons we fight with are beyond our reality, right? And divine power to demolish strongholds, shift and bend reality. This is kind of like what I was reflecting on. And like, I just put whatever comes to mind and then I kind of like pray on it. Haven't prayed on it yet because, you know, I haven't had much time. I just kind of wanted to go through it on here. See what you guys think. So words, thoughts have powers. They are the authors of our reality. See now with your physical eyes, but with your mind's eyes, the knowledge of God. And I just wrote down the knowledge of God because I wanted to go deeper into it, like, and see where else it's referenced in the Bible. Because like I said, I know there's people that they group together like the universe, God, and then they're like, oh, we're like all our own gods. Like I've seen a bunch of those, and personally, I don't believe that. I believe Jesus Christ is God. And then, people are like, oh, if God is like omnipowerful, whatever, like, why did he have to have his only son die? And it's like, yes, but there is a law, like, God follows a law. So that's why it's like interesting to me, like, in Romans specifically, it also mentions like the law of God. Um, so there was already a law, like, somebody had to pay it. Like, God is not lawless. He does not, he's above it, but like, there is a law in place in the universe that he has created. The system has to follow it. So it's like, I don't know, it's just not something that you can't sense make someone make sense into believing. Like, that's where your faith and has to come from. So I'm not even going to attempt to prove any of that. This is just kind of like how neuroplasticity is in scripture, and that it really does connect, like, take captive every thought. It's like rewiring your neural networks, like every thought, like, be conscious of it. Like, why am I thinking like this? Where did this come from? And then you can kind of like rewire the pattern, just like a habit. um just about being conscious of it. And then it really is true, because i I encourage everybody to try it. Like, you don't believe it, like, go ahead and try it for one day. Try to change your perception of reality based off like your head and stuff. It's going to work. It's just exhausting to continue to do when you've already become accustomed to, like I said, like your nervous system when you're growing up, it becomes accustomed to a certain baseline. When you've already become accustomed to that, and you have developed a million little habits throughout your life to agree with the system that you have, when you try to change that, it is a lot of work. Okay, it's something that you have to commit to, not just every single day, not just every single like few hours. You have to commit to that like every second until you're able to rewire that and make it a new habit and make it a new pattern in your life. Because first of all, you have to recognize the patterns and the stuff that you already have. So you have to be very conscious, slow down, like take it step by step and be able to recognize that. And then you have to be able to see like what role is it serving? Is it still serving me? Is it not serving me? And then from there, you're like, okay, well, what new patterns do I want to build? And when you're trying to make that change, it's like a lot of work to even acknowledge and recognize it. It's so much more work to actually change it, and it's a lot more work to establish it in your life, so that it becomes something that is your new normal and you don't even have to think about. But from point A to that, it takes a lot of work. So it's something simple, but it's very hard, and that's why a lot of people not just can't but won't do it. Okay, because we become comfortable, we become accustomed to being a certain way, even if it's not beneficial to us, even if it's just destroying everything around us. That is your normal and that is what you're accustomed to. And it takes a lot of energy to be able to change it and be able to live in a new reality, because you're operating everything you're operating from. It's just like a habit at this point, because if it wasn't, you would have to make so many little decisions. So as you grow up and you're developing these neural pathways, these neural pathways, yeah, that drive your decisions, so that your brain will have to keep actively making those decisions, and it would take the load off your brain. So it just automatically makes those decisions for you. It's like, oh, a trigger, a response, blah blah blah, and you're not even conscious of it. So to even go conscious of it, to then analyze it, to then building a new pathway, and then like when you're attempting to build it, you can make like one conscious decision today, another tomorrow. You have to make it like always, always, with every time the decision pops up, boom, boom, more times than not, or else your brain is never going to get like built the new neural pathway. You know what I mean? And if you don't build it, you're not going to change, because you're going to be demasiado, like too exhausted to be making those decisions consciously, right? So it's something that, yes, it is possible, but it does take a lot of work, a lot of willpower, a lot of effort. So not everybody is willing to do it, but I encourage you to try it. What are you going to lose? Try it for one day. It's going to be exhausting, but guess what? It's like you're building a muscle, you're building a new neural pathway in your brain. Once it's set, you're going to thank yourself for it, and the time is going to pass anyway. So it's like, do you want to continue the rest of your life going and building in a pattern, something you realize is not working out for you? You realize, I don't want to be this person anymore, I don't want to think this way, I want to be able to achieve things that you're just not set up to do right now. I'm not saying it's your fault, because like I said, nobody chooses what family they're born into, nobody chooses their circumstances, but you do have the responsibility to not keep spreading pain and hurt to others. And it is what it is, like we're all on this earth. The life is so short, and you don't have to do the work. It's fine. But this conversation is for the people that do want to do it. I'm trying to be like encouraging, like it is going to be hard work, but it's 1,000% possible, it's 1,000% doable, and you can have the life that you want. You just have to build towards it and really believe it. And it's a lot of work, and I'm not saying it's easy, because I'm not there yet. Like, I'm just now realizing, like, all of these patterns that I have in my life, they're not benefiting me. They're not going to set me up for the life that I want. And it's like, even when I do have it, like, I'm not going to feel safe in it, because I'm used to chaos. Like, that's what I grew up in. That's what I'm used to. And it's not what I want. I want peace. I want stability. And I need to rebuild the patterns. And it's like that meme, whatever, like, oh, repeat, you must break the pattern today, or the loop will repeat tomorrow, whatever. It's true. You must break the pattern today, or the loop will repeat tomorrow. And it's never too late. Don't ever think that it's too late. You can start whenever you're ready. You can pause. Just um I don't know. I think your life it's worth working towards the things that you want to achieve, right? So yeah. So words, thoughts have power. They are the authors of our reality. See not with your physical eyes, but with your mind's eyes. The knowledge of God. I need to look into that. And then Romans 12 to John 10:10b. I have come that they may have life and then they may have it more abundantly. Oh, and you know what's the other Bible verse where I can't even like off the top of my head? It's the one where it's like your mind will be renewed and the overwhelming like peace of God, and it's true. So yeah, there's a lot of like examples of neuroplasticity in the Bible. I know maybe this is still a little off topic, and maybe all my videos are going to be, but it is what it is. I'd rather have it like that and have it be like real, authentic, authentic things that I actually think about. This lady is giving me major side eye. It's like, okay, girl, like go on with your thing. Anyways, it was just funny because she's like looking at me, but like trying not so that I won't know that she's looking at me. So it just looked like side eye. But yeah, it's doable. Okay, but it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work at first. Once you have that set up so it becomes automatic, it'll be a lot easier. It'll take the load off. But you know nothing, what's that saying? It's like nothing good ever comes easy. So you can have good or easy, and whatever, like good is subjective to you. So but I'm just saying, like, whatever you want to, don't feel like you're ever stuck, like, oh, I'm this way, this is just the way I am. No, but you do have to have the grit to go after what you want, right? And to keep going after it, because oh, I tried once and it didn't work out. Keep trying, buddy. Like you're gonna have to try a couple more times than that. And even then, as long as you're alive, like you might as well keep trying, because what's the point otherwise? Um, but yes, definitely something I want to keep looking into, something I'm interested in. I did kind of study this in school, so it is something that I like to keep up. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, I'm going to go walk and I'm gonna try to upload this. Or actually, I need to run. Yeah, because I gotta wash my hair tomorrow anyway. So, ciao, everybody. I hope you're having a great year so far. Great start to your year. And yeah, what was I gonna say? I forgot. Bueno, chao. Cuídense. Se te quiso.